on her. I'm gonna tell you the video I found her from. It was there's a video on. Is this one?
No, giftedness is not either autism or ADHD, as they have specific struggle. Like the therapy world, when therapists see you as high functioning instead of misaligned with the world, you don't need to be told why you're struggling. You already know. You need help understanding what to do about it. Yet very often the gifted distress is misdiagnosed as anxiety or existential depression. No, it's about the intensity gap, goddamn. Your baseline is most people's max capacity. Being told to slow down, not to overthink, feels like being asked to literally shrink yourself. And when people say you're too intense, it's often because they're too used to mediocrity. Nothing wrong with that, but there's also nothing wrong with you, okay? Now, the standard you hold yourself to isn't high, it's inhuman. Even when you're the best at something, it still feels like you're falling short. And you never have outside competition because your biggest competition is your highest potential. Yours, not anyone else's. Can we talk about how no one knows how to hold space for your level of depth? So you had to learn to self-soothe alone. You don't have casual heartbreaks when you love. It's all consuming, existential.
It strikes an interesting thought. Who are you competing and comparing yourself to when your greatest threat is your best self? It's such an unpaved road. It's such an uncertain area. And to be at any age and to feel like that, especially in an environment where you don't have the tools that meet your intensity gap. My God.
Existential and rewires your reality. No, you're not too dramatic, babe. Let me validate that.
Again, if you have some type of intelligence or talent or skill that automatically separates you from a lot of people, there's literally, it's actually just 1 in 10,000 that you can run into a person or a situation that either challenges you more than you can challenge yourself, or even more than you can even know you can be challenged. Because then self-esteem and intelligence just don't, I think they probably are related, but you can be highly intelligent with extremely low self-esteem and extremely low levels of confidence. And then there could be an idiot or a fool with high levels of confidence, high self-esteem.
Right now, you're often seen as the person who has it together, so people don't check on you. They simply assume you're fine because you can articulate your pain very well. And because you're used to self-soothe anyway, chances are you don't know how to ask for help either. Now, you don't fear change, you fear stagnation. You thrive in reinvention, and if something isn't evolving,
I would say being successful at it is a skill.
You lose interest instantly. You most probably
managing the money you make from the success is a skill.
Don't care about status-based hierarchy like who has the most money, authority, or fame. Instead, your brain may automatically organize the world into efficiency-based hierarchies, not to dominate, but to navigate reality effectively. And lastly, one of the biggest signs of giftedness is actually not wanting to accept the label. And don't get me wrong, it's not because it's inaccurate, but because of how people react to it. Giftedness doesn't just mean intellection, okay? This seems to be a very common misconception. And no, you don't think you're better than the rest. Matter of fact, probably you feel the dumbest. Or the other common response that literally makes me want to pull my hair out of my scalp is when you talk about your neurodivergence and someone says, well, everyone is gifted. Like, yeah, everyone has strengths, but giftedness is about cognitive, emotional.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, I could be on her channel all day, bro. She be cooking. She dead ass be cooking. Oh, she even spoke on the... Y'all heard about that thing where the woman tried to have sex with 100 guys in a day? Y'all hear about that?
Good question.
Can definitely make me feel a little bit like, oh God, have I chose the wrong career? But I just totally love my job.
Bro, she broke her down in the most... It was vicious, bro.
She keeps repeating, almost trying to convince herself how much she loves her job. But this time, unlike the others, she doesn't look at him anymore. She looks down to the left, and the shift feels like a moment of real reflection. Her talking about the struggles of her job, to me, is very clear that she's actually talking about how she feels, but she frames it around other people's perceptions of her. Like the comments about, never finding a boyfriend, the criticism on her body, and so on. Instead of addressing that these things bother her, what does she do? Two things. One, She keeps repeating that she doesn't care about what people think, but in reality, every concern she brings up is tied to how others see her. Her doubts aren't about the job.
I love shit like this.
They're about the judgment that comes with it. It's like she can't quite admit that what people say really does affect her, because doing that would mean confronting her own vulnerability, which she seems very determined to avoid at this time. She keeps repeating how...
I love shit like this because it just gives you insight on how many things people do casually. It was a whole another video she did. She was like, she actually had a take. I like, because you'll see interesting takes. To me, I'll see other shit on social media and be bored of it. But I can watch videos like this all day. I ain't gonna lie. Because this was the first one. She
slept with 100 guys in one day. She's literally doing this to herself. That's an interesting logic. If someone's cutting themselves, do they deserve to be hurt more because they're doing it to themselves? Just a question. That's different. Self-harm is like, you know, like a mental health thing. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I mean, self-harm gets a pass, but only if it looks like a tragedy you're comfortable sympathizing with. Gotcha. But she chose to do it.
And this is on when that woman tried to have sex with 100 guys in a day.
Yeah, because self-harmers just accidentally trip onto razor blades, right? Seems like pain has to look a certain way for you to count. That's concerning. She doesn't look in pain to me. I definitely agree. If someone doesn't explicitly cry and hold up a sign that says I'm suffering, then clearly they're fine. The same genius reasoning that makes depression and suicide so hard to prevent, huh? Listen, I didn't mean it like that, obviously. I'm just saying it's different. No, it's not. What's different is the way you're twisting this to make it easier for yourself. Let's be real here, okay? This isn't about her choices. This is about society coming together to blame one woman for the actions of 100 men. It's easier to shame her than ask what the hell is wrong with the men who lined up to exploit her. But they're just taking the opportunity. That's different. They're not the ones putting themselves out there. Different. Wow, this word again. So they saw someone doing something self-destructive, and instead of helping or walking away, they joined in. They didn't just take the opportunity, my man. They became part of the problem, the very problem they are judging now.
And that's what I always found funny. That's what I always found funny, bro. Because you'll turn around and the woman is left with the label of those 1,000 bodies. Right. She's left with the label that men created and participated in. I'm going to want to fuck you and I'm going to call you a hoe. This is shit I think about, chat. This is shit that, interests me. Right? Because, I remember this whole clip went viral. The guy's like, I'm not a slut, I'm a slut maker. But you know how much of like a self-fulfilling prophecy that is? To complain about something and build it at the same time? And I like the point she made about, why is nobody saying something about the 100 guys that lined up to fuck her that day? Like, this woman, her soul is screaming. Her soul is crying. Obviously, it's fucking absurd that any human being, especially a woman, would sit there and say, "Oh, I'm trying to fuck as many guys as I can in a day." She is clearly... Now, mind you, some people don't even look that deep, though. Some people don't look deep into why women become hoes. Why women do hoe shit. You see, you slap the label hoe on it, and you could just stop all your sympathy, empathy, and thinking. For me personally, I couldn't help myself. I've always been more curious. And this also just came from my interactions with women myself, and just being a listener, just being a learner and an observer. You start finding out shit. See, like Lil did shit, what he said, gang, some women just do hoe shit because they can. Your understanding, I'm not saying there's not just some hoes who love being a hoe, because there is. But don't let your understanding stop you from seeing more. Because oftentimes, chat, we see what we want, bro. We see what we want. I've talked to multiple women. You find out, gang, been traumatized at a young age. And a lot of their hypersexuality and a lot of them not being protective of their body and themselves come from traumatizing, invasive sexual experiences. It was good, Blix. It was good. She was not taught and shown by her father or another man how to healthily respect herself, express boundaries, and love herself and have a self-esteem to where she does not give herself and her body and her value away for free and for nothing in such high, numbers. And then, we got a society that tells you nowadays, like, it's like it's almost, we see unhealthy behavior And there's either two things. It's either extremely judgmental or the opposite, extremely accepting of everything. It's like, no. That doesn't mean, she can have 150, 10,000 bodies in a day and want to have sex with as many guys as she wants, and then we're going to just sit around and say that's normal or okay or healthy. Well, normal is one thing, but healthy, I think, is a better expression. Going back to the point, though, hey, Lil Ed did that shit. If you think it's as simple as that, hoes just do hoe shit because they can. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not even trying to convince you to see more to the situation. I'm not. I'm just looking at what's backed up by psychology, what's actually backed up by the experiences I've seen in my personal life, and on an inner, deeper, more spiritual level. And this is not saying that they lack accountability. Okay. Is it saying because she was traumatized and she became a hoe that she lacks accountability? If you view that as lack of accountability, it flew over your head, and I have nothing to talk to you about there. If you don't realize that when somebody is negatively impacted by an experience, that their decision making becomes poor, how could that's the thing. You can say they lack accountability. How can they even take accountability? From your perspective, you're saying they need accountability there. They don't even know or think that what they're doing is out of the ordinary. So be accountable for what? Your lens tells you lack accountability. Their lens tells them they're just acting out. They're just acting on their traumas, bro. Shit, if I'm doing drugs and I'm smoking and drinking and I have an addiction, yeah, you can say I lack accountability as an addict. I don't give a fuck about no goddamn accountability, nigga. I'm in pain. I'm hurting. Accountability, nigga, I'm doing heroin. The fuck? Accountability, nigga, she fucking 100 niggas in a day. Accountable for what? She's doing exactly what she's choosing to. And that's the whole point of help, is that people become aware of things. Lil added, you might get banned. He said, women are very simple to me. Humans are not simple. Woman or man. You on the same breath, you might remind me of a nigga who has this like psychological perspective that like, oh yeah, men can't cry. Men don't experience emotional troubles. And it'd be the reason why a nigga is just damn near suicidal. And you're like, bro, that's not manly.
And are you sitting here defending them? And listen, I'm not defending them. I'm just saying she made the choice. And they made theirs. Their choice was to turn her pain into an opportunity for their own gratification. And your choice is to focus on blaming her. I just don't understand why would she do something like this in the first place, okay? Almost like that's the point. None of this happens in a vacuum, Jeremy, okay? People don't make choices like that unless they're dealing with something deeper. Maybe she's in pain. Maybe she's searching for validation. Or maybe she's trying to numb herself to something we can't see. Whatever it is, it's self-harm, okay? Right, so instead of judging her, we
and that was her whole point, like looking at the situation is like, bro, there's people like, oh, that bitch is a hoe, scroll on to the next post. That's most people gonna do. Oh, that bitch a hoe. Oh my god, bro, you seen this thing? Yeah, she's a hoe. Scroll to the next post that now demands their attention. They're not gonna look beneath it and try to understand something. And I find it so funny because, like I said, I really noticed this during the period of abstinence when I would just talk to women, not even trying to get anything, and just make interesting conversations. You start finding out all the shit that they've been through. You be like, damn. And it's always is, so this is why you act like that. It always is. So this is why you act like that. It always is. That bitch who took 100 minutes a day, she thought it would be fun because she'd be doing shit like that and wanted attention for real. Lil did. I don't even think a conversation will make you see how limited your understanding of it is. But you are looking for simplicity. So if you are looking for simplicity, then to you, your word and your answers, that perfectly fits. That perfectly fits. Like I said, I have nothing to argue with you there. Why do you think she did that? Like, for real. We just watched a 2-minute video wrapping around why she did it, right? Or what it could be, potential options of it. And you just asked me that? Ironically, the woman who's doing it might not even know herself. She might not even know herself. The point being is that there's some internal damage that could be sexual. She could have been molested or something like that, or raped or something like that, and it fucked her up, and she had the opposite reaction of being hypersexual and sexually like, it could be anything. Point being is to say she's a hoe and she just wanted to have fun and an attention and experience. Yeah, you deserve to be. I just modded you by accident. Just get timed out for 10 minutes. I said she could have been grape. He said I love grapes. It's just not the time for that joke. But like I was saying, nobody's gonna act like that just with a normal upbringing and just a situation. Even for people, you look at their households and be like, oh, this fucking motherfucker got 2 parents and they got money, and you be thinking like, chat. I learned this through pure experience. I remember when I went to high school and I had a homie, bro. Both his parents was married. He had like multiple siblings. I'm talking about he growing up in a household of over a $400,000 income a year since he was a kid, right? And from the outside in, like, cause I grew up broke, I grew up poor. I didn't know my dad until I was like 11, gang. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you fast forward, you would just look at somebody's life and then say like, man, you know, this is the ultimate privilege. Like, your shit easy. Like, what do you have to complain about? Like, blah, blah, blah. And then I got around this friend a lot. Like, I spent a lot of time with them. Started learning more about them, their household, their life, the dynamic that they had in their family. And chat, they had problems that I couldn't even comprehend. They had problems that would fuck them up mentally in their own household. Not the preppy bullshit like, you know, my mom didn't clean my Lamborghini this morning, so I'm gonna cry. But it was weird shit. Like, it was this example where his brother, his older brother, was like a problematic child. I mean, this dude was like smoking, drinking, sipping lean, on drugs heavy, just running the streets, coming from a good household at that, right? Mind you, he's the first child, so you don't know what his growth was like and what type of parenting he experienced. Because parents oftentimes do better with the younger children. So he's the first child, and psychology has a lot of answers on shit like that too. He's the first child. He would do this with these extremely oddball things, bro. And I mean, his parents would have given him the world, paid for him to go to college, or at least helped him go in some way, shape, or form, assisted him in a lot of ways. And this dude would clear his mom's bank account out. Clear her bank account out. He would steal her cards and empty her bank account. I'm talking like $20,000, $30,000. He's done this multiple times. And then the mom has still multiple times allowed him to move back in the house and tried to help him. Now, mind you, on the surface, you'll look at it and be like, now, mind you, this is the dynamics of shit that makes shit interesting. And interesting is such a funny word, but I'm just going to say interesting. So, mind you, this guy's the youngest child with an older brother like that. What happens to him in the house? You know, and then what happens when the older brother comes back in? And how do the parents now act experiencing shit like that? Now, mind you, they're making over $400K a year, good money, 2-parent household, married together. Then you find out that the dad and the mom aren't even really together, even though they're still married. The dad got a whole nother apartment in another place where the son knows he be fucking multiple bitches. The mom don't even really know her. Maybe she's ignoring it. So that's even more of a complicated household situation. Like, you see what I'm saying, chat? So it's like, I'm like learning all this about him and his family. I'm like, damn, I don't want your life. Like, on the outside in, with my lack of understanding at the time, I'm like, bro, you got it all. You got a car when you was 15. You like, what's up? Like, bro, you would turn around and be like, oh, shit. Yeah, I'm good with my broke ass. I'll go right back. Because this is how weird Philly is. You can go 5 blocks down and be in the ghetto. And go 7 blocks that way and be in a wealthier neighborhood. I swear to God. Is anybody here from Philly? You could go 5 blocks to the left, ghetto. 7 blocks to the right, a little suburb. I'm talking about the houses don't touch each other. You know, we talking 3, 4 floors. You know what I'm saying? So this is the duality of the world. And I've always been a social person, so it never mattered anybody's background or upbringing. I've always been able to connect with any human, any person, as long as, you know, there's some relationship there. You know, and they're not fake or a backstabber or some weird shit. So I this is how I think I get in situations like that. I learn, I observe, I listen, and I connect. And then I'm telling you an observation I've had from that situation. And you looking at the girl and saying, "Oh, that's just a hoe doing oh shit." It's like me looking at his life and saying, "Bro, you got all that money, you got it all. Go find out that house is not a home. You find out that, yeah, broke people, families spend the most time together. We be the ones who families all go to grandma's crib, all go to the cookout and shit like that. All the people with money, they be lonely as hell. Kids never see their parents. You know, families never get together, all distant, all superficial, no connections. Spiritually poor, financially rich. Judging, this is the thing. Judging is healthy and normal. There's literally no way not to judge, because just as being alive, you have a perspective and a lens. Remember, my professor said this. Judging is just a part of life, right? Telling someone how they should live, what they should do, right? As if it's the end of the law. Right? Like if I'm Christian, you're Muslim. I'm Muslim, you're Christian. That's where you get out of hand and I'll say, oh, this is now I'm gonna judge you because I have my perspective and my lens on things. But my healthy balance is you can do what you want. This is just my opinion. Do what you want, but this is my genuine opinion. And interesting enough, the more you are aware of something, the less you judge. Because now when you have the awareness to understand the person, it's harder to judge them. You can still say, yeah, that's fucked up and that's wrong. But you don't lead with judgment. You lead with help, assistance, empathy. You know, maybe, how can I help you? What can I do for you? Like, you all right? What's going on? Like, that's what you lead with. And I think that judgment oftentimes goes wrong when it closes people's minds. It's so easy to become closed-minded when you're judgmental. I mean, that's just how we are as humans. We like boxing everything up. We like simplicity. You know what I'm saying? Some relationships were created. My real dad never been in my life, and my mom is in the process of separating from my stepdad. That dude is spiritually and financially poor. My mom's birthday was this weekend, and today he made a Snapchat account under my name to go and screen record a video of someone posting my mom blowing up a birthday, a cake. Like, what gang? Weird shit, bro. Just weird shit. Man, I just seen a true crime thing. I didn't even watch it, but I seen it on Twitter, and then it made me go find a YouTube video. I didn't watch it yet, but it was of a story where and so in a comment, like I said, I've been annoyed with social media lately, but sometimes I find actually intelligent takes and comments. It's so interesting. So the situation was a 16-year-old girl went missing when she was found out she was pregnant. She was 5 months pregnant, I think, when she went missing, or was found dead. I don't even know if she was ever found dead, but she went missing, I think. Didn't watch the video, don't have the full context. From what I know, 16-year-old girl goes missing. She's like 5 months pregnant. And all the evidence and all the situation is leading to, it was her aunt's husband. The aunt's husband had been apparently secretly raping her or molesting her or sexually abusing her. And she was afraid to tell the family. And I think it either was murdered for that or cut her own, whatever. Or it's just a whole weird situation, man. And they did all this investigation of like her phone, when they found her phone, and she had like locked notes writing about the uncle And the aunt was pretending to be so blind, like, my husband. I didn't watch it yet, so don't spoil it. But that's all I know. And it's like, to me, it was so gruesome how the aunt could be so blind. Meanwhile, the husband or the uncle guy, his own brother snitched on him. He said, man, fuck out of here. No, that dude's a creep. Fuck him. But the whole aunt was sitting here playing so blind. Now, mind you, here's what a comment said that I thought was interesting. The comment was like, now look at the aunt, because they showed a picture of the aunt. She's unattractive, short, and extremely overweight. Now, they were trying to use this to be conclusive that she has low self-esteem. And so clearly they were trying to make the point that the assumption here is that she would struggle finding a man. Now, mind you, the guy, the uncle, was a somewhat attractive guy, tall, light-skinned. So the comment goes, right? The comment goes, look at the aunt, short, ugly, whatever. It's sad that some woman would do anything to keep a man. She's probably proud to have him, her light-skinned, tall husband, handsome husband, to feel like she has some sort of trophy that validates herself. So he is literally a part of her own delusion of herself and giving her some sense of self-worth and value. And she hides behind the word entitled husband. I'm a wife by any means necessary. But no matter what, as long as I have a husband and as long as I am a wife, this dude could be straight up molesting my niece, and I don't care because I have a husband, and he like, gang. It was like yo. I feel like y'all know this shit is weird, but if you've been fucking with me for a couple years, you know I'm interested in shit like this. I find psychology so interesting, bro. I find the dynamics of like people and how they work and how they move and all these little fucked up weird things. I find it so interesting, bro. Because all this shit is around you, bro. All this shit is around you. It's all around you. Especially when you see it in like substance abuse, how people outlash at things. I can't help it, bro. It is this deep to me. So when y'all say shit, look at the woman like, oh, she had 100 bodies in a day. Yeah, obviously superficial talk say, man, that bitch is a whore. What the fuck? Oh my God, she needs to be banned off the planet Earth. That's my goodness. Oh, her soul is in hell. Curious ties, like what's going on there? Because that's clearly not normal. Something going on. And I'm curious. Because then you could at least be preventative. There's obviously women out there who haven't had 1,000 bodies in a day and have the same struggles and don't know what they could do. And then it's the lack of proper solutions that leads to shit like that. Fuck it, my homie just died and I don't know how to deal with that grief. Heroin is much better than therapy. And that's how it can seem. It's not that direct. Like, it's not that blatant, but shit, be like that, man. Should go to Marvel stream right now. All right, Ash is right. I'm about to go to the bathroom. I'm actually just leave Marvel stream up while I went to the bathroom. It just made it seem like I clicked on somebody. Bro, fuck is Marvel stream? My Twitch is glitching. I'm gonna leave Marvel stream up while I go to the bathroom chat.
Joe is not cute. Y'all heard that? Listen up. Joe not cute. Do y'all agree? Is that okay? Oh well.
What did you say? They
they asked me, what she say? What you just say? Chat, what she say? What you do? Which one of y'all? They saying, what y'all just say, bro?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Shout out my nigga Mara though. But yeah, bro. Gorgeous person, how you prove. We can start reading, chat. I ain't gonna lie, I could be ready. I ain't even know we was 3 hours in. I didn't know it was 3 hours, man. She just whispered Joe. She just whispered that. Joe not cute. Fine by me, baby. Get out the way and let a girl step up who think I am. What time is it that side? It's like, oh shit, it's 12:19. I didn't even realize. Dasher's nearby. My food almost here. Make sure it gets to the door. Start doing story times. You know what I think about when I think of that? Some of my greatest people I look up to don't do story times. Yeah, I've never seen a Prince story time. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen a Marvin Gaye story time. You know what I'm saying? Not fuck with Rod, but when I was thinking of people like I look up to and admire, like maybe because them niggas dead or alive, they lived. We talking about niggas that lived over 50 years of life. You know, there's a certain mysteriousness, a certain like ambience they had to them. You know, a vibe. Like they just knew it. I'm not doing that shit. I do what I want. Everybody cranks them, and Che, I realize too. Everybody cranks them the way that they do. It's just not in me as a person to say, you know what? Damn, Raw killing it with story times. All right, let me start doing mine. Like I don't think like that. I don't think like that. I don't even like story times. I don't even tell niggas stories in real life. Personally, Raw kills it with his story times too. I think my food is good. God damn, my nigga dropped that food out. I smelled the strongest pack of cigarettes I ever smelled in my life. Sheesh. Sheesh. Alright, let me see some chat. Probably finna. See, it might game after this, after we read. New York City or ATL? Why? Why, man? I just realized I zoomed out so much, bro, you could see my fan. You could almost see my ceiling fan. Fuck with the Beatles? Not heavy, but I do like a few of their songs. Looks way more than confidence. No. I mean, if she looking at you without having a conversation with you, no. I mean, then obviously looks wins right there. If she's swiping on you on social media or something like that, you know. But as far as intimacy and connection, looks don't create that. As far as longevity, you know, a woman wanting to do a lot for you, take out a loan or like saying I ain't gonna go crazy, but you know, swiping you left or right, then yes. Saying I would fuck him, then yes. Actually having sexual tension with you and actual intimacy. You see how many I've gone over too many examples of niggas fumbling, having every box that y'all want to check. You know. Todd Joe is proof that looks way more than confidence. I ain't gonna argue with you there. Joe, my nigga Joe, man, my nigga Joe. I gotta realize too, a lot of this stuff is Joe be forming. Joe be clip forming, gang. I actually directly have told Joe what to say in a DM on Instagram, and the girl replied. I gave him a line to DM a girl with. She replied. She said something after that, and I think he took a bad shot for the second line, but it didn't fall through. And I just told him what he should have did on the second half. Like, But I could literally take a nigga who doesn't make shots and give him what to say and what to do, and they'll make the shot. It's already been done. It's the same way we've taken a guy who's in the friend zone with a girl, told him what to say on the call live, and moved out of the friend zone. I've done all these things live. I've done them IRL. So don't come with me with the whole, confidence and all that, and da-da-da-da. Why? Because a nigga could be a chick perfect type and turn her off. He just doesn't give, my man.